This is what your 501c3 pastor will never preach about, because he can't. In the book of Acts, chapter 6 to 7, my brother Stephen was calling out Israel's rebellion and their ancestral disobedience, right? He accused the entire Sanhedrin of resisting the Ruach HaKodesh, also known as the Holy Spirit. But who is the Sanhedrin? They were the political elite. They were your politicians. They were your motivational speakers. They were the people that you watch on TV today. They were the high regarded people of that community. Essentially the Pharisees and the Sadducees, right? But they was also the government. But your 501c3 pastor can't talk anything negative against the system that pays them. Not to mention, it's the same system that crucified Yahushua HaMashiach, also known as Jesus Christ. And if you notice, the reason why I have to keep saying Jesus Christ, because there's a lot of people that don't even know his real name is Yahushua HaMashiach. So I'm trying to expose and teach at the same time. Stephen directly called out in Acts 7:43 what they all were worshiping. Look it up. It's the Star of Remphan. Where my boy Amos talked about it in Amos 5 verses 26 about Sheol, that they all worshiping where Lucifer is originally from. Stephen was calling them out for literally unaliving, pinning to the tree, Yahushua HaMashiach, Jesus Christ. He called them out for their commerce and their worshiping and their deifying that temple, when literally it even says in Acts that Yahushua does not dwell in temples. Again, he doesn't dwell in churches. You ain't got to build him nothing. That's why you always saw Yahushua walking out in the streets. He was literally exposing the fact that they would not even keep the Torah, but would force everybody else or make everyone feel bad about not keeping the Torah. You know, like that unclean woman where Yahushua was drawn in the sand and was like, ye who is without sin, cast the first stone, right? Dude was exposing the fact that they wasn't even following Moses' teachings, the 10 Commandments. And if you notice, they got their Abrahamic laws now. And again, I have to keep bringing this up, but Stephen was also exposing who their father was in Acts 7 verses 43. Oh yeah, you ain't know that, huh? And in Acts 7:51, it literally says that Stephen directly told them that they are hard of hearing, they ain't got no heart, and they stiff-necked. To the point that when he was getting stoned, he looked up into the sky and saw Yahushua standing on the right hand of God. And you know what the Sanhedrin did? They said blasphemy. The same type of blasphemy they called out on Yahushua HaMashiach for him not being the Messiah. So again, the church that you go to can't talk about this because they would directly be talking about the people that pay them.